everybody, welcome. I am September Dorman, President and CEO of CEO Space. I am so excited about our call today. We are going to be covering the power of a like-minded community with our membership discovery call. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest that I cannot wait to introduce to you. So let's go ahead and get started. So CEO Space has a mission, right? It is to change the way that business is done from this old, tired, competitive model where you have to lose so that I can win, to a more productive, cooperative model where everybody gets to win. So everything that we do inside of CEO Space is cooperative based. All of our activities, all of our networking, it's all centered around this cooperative model that we'll teach you. So what is CEO Space? We are a membership community of vetted subject matter experts, and we're going to talk about why that's important here in just a moment, and qualified business owners that come together 5 times a year to move their businesses forward through collaboration and cooperation. It truly is the experience of the law of reciprocity in action. What are some of our membership benefits? We offer a real-world actionable education. What does that mean? So our vetted subject matter experts, the instructors, the people that are teaching and presenting during the week, they all have had background checks done to prove they are who they say they are and they do what they say they do, and that there's no red flags that you need to be concerned about when working with this individual. And all of those reports are posted online to demonstrate full transparency, which is a pillar of cooperation. And we'll teach you more about that as you become a member of CEO Space. We also do webinars and live Q&A sessions in between each forum. We provide a members-only online community where we have thousands of members on there currently engaging with each other and continuing to develop relationships and make new connections. We also have an unparalleled networking. And that's because of our collaborative and cooperative practices, which you'll learn more about when you become a member. We also provide in-room presentations. And what this means is that in the evenings, after all of the classes and the networking activities are over, you can hold presentations in your room and you can advertise those presentations during the week. So if you want to do a product demo or present for practice on what your product is, that's the time to do those, and they're very, very, very effective. We also have global mastermind meals, and what this means for us is that our meal tables are unlike anything that you've ever experienced. Because of who we attract, you could be sitting at a meal table with somebody who just sold their company for a couple of $1 billion with a B, or you could be sitting next to somebody who has a napkin idea for a new venture that they're starting. So this global mastermind, you really are able to take away a lot of valuable knowledge from the people that you're sitting with. And because we have cooperative practices, how you get that information is through the cooperative conversations that we teach you. We also provide different membership discounts. So if you've got a family member or a team member that you would like to bring them into CEO Space, we offer deep discounts for that, for our members only. During the week, we have one-on-one mentorship that takes place. Unlike most events, when you go to a lot of other events, you see the speaker, they're really great, you're super motivated by them, and then you never see them again. But at CEO Space, our presenters are mentors, and they're spending time with you during the week. You're having the opportunity to ask them questions, to pick their brain, to show them a model that you have and get their feedback, to start doing some research to find out, what options are available to you. So all of our presenters, all of our faculty members, they are accessible during the week. You set meetings with them during the entire week. We also have this thing called Membership Expo, and that takes place at the end of the week for you to demonstrate your products or services in a large room. And it's also a wonderful time to follow up on your cards that are given to you, which are called See Me cards. And it's a networking tool that we use. So Saturday Expo is a wonderful time to follow up on all those contacts that look really good for you, for those new connections that you're looking for. Capital education. This is one of our sweet spots. We really focus heavily on capital education. In fact, we spend 3 days giving you a bonus weekend specifically focused on capital education. Anything from the laws, the do's and don'ts, how to present, what to say, what not to say in presentations, and we even do role playing when it comes to the presentation. What needs to be in your capital presentation kit? What do you need to look for when it comes to working with investors? We go through the whole gamut. This is our sweet spot and one of our strengths that we offer. We also provide access to local and global community, which means we have clubs all over the US. So if you're traveling and you want to engage with those graduates and members within that area, you have the ability to do so as a lifetime member. And the last two items here, we provide a free grad weekend for life and a free bonus class for life. And I'm going to show you a visual of what that means to explain this here. So when we look at our week, it's Saturday to Saturday. Our bonus weekend is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, and that's free for our members. So if you want to come back and audit the class or get a refresher or continue to add the layers of information, that's the perfect time to come back, and it's free for our members. We also provide something called a free grad weekend, and that takes place about 4:30 on Thursday. There's some activities that takes place in that evening, and then all day Friday and all day Saturday. And this is a great time to come in just to make some quick contacts. If you're wanting to meet with a member there and have a meeting to discuss your project, it's the perfect time to do it. And that weekend is also free to our members. And then, of course, the week-long program that as you become a new member, you have access to the entire week, Saturday to Saturday. And if you choose to come back for the entire week again, there's a small fee to do that. Who we are. I touched on vetted subject matter experts a while ago, and I just want to give you an idea of the quality that we attract in terms of our faculty members. We're very particular about who we put in front of you. We want to make sure that their content is really going to help you and that their heart is in the right place to serve you. We have a very give back mentality amongst our group. And this is just a small list of companies that our faculty members work with. And this is a very, very small list. But we have several faculty members that have worked with these companies, and we felt like it was a good representation of who they are. So what is a qualified business owner? To us, it's somebody who's very clear on their vision, and they're clear on what they're ready for next, whatever that may be, to accelerate the growth of their business. And to give you an idea of the type of members that we attract, it is such a wide range of industry. Name it, anything from a widget to nanotechnology and anything in between that. We have lots of members that are multi-number-one best-selling authors in the business and personal development space. We also have experts in fields such as real estate, various types of water projects, nanotechnology, automotive, curriculum writing, small business management, strategists, merger specialists, SEC attorneys, leadership, MLM design, you name it, we have somebody within our group that we can help you and give you access to them, whether they're one of our vetted subject matter experts or whether they're one of our members. Since 2013, CEO Space has been featured on Forbes.com and Inc.com as a must-attend conference for entrepreneurs. We have 10 other articles that are available, so if you want to go check those out and read what the press has to say about CEO Space, you can go to ceospaceinternational.com, go to the About tab, and then under the press, and all of those articles are there for you to check out. I'd like to introduce Tonya Recla. Tonya Recla and her husband Justin have been members of CEO Space since March of 2012. And in that time, we have grown a wonderful relationship together. We recently just went on a marketing cruise together, which was really fun. But the way that we've developed our relationship has really kind of been on a business foundation. And we're learning off of each other. If I look at all of my relationships, I can honestly say that the relationship that Bertie and I have with the Reclas is the epitome of cooperation and collaboration. And it is truly a joy to work with her and to have her a part of our community. So welcome to the call, Tonya.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And of course, it's absolutely mutual. I'm happy to be here, and I'm very honored to share both, our story and how things came about for us, but really the power of CEO Space. I'm not sure that it's possible to encapsulate all of it, but I'm happy to give it a shot.
Sounds good.
So, well, welcome everybody. And I could say, welcome to one of probably the most crucial decisions you can make about your business. We do a lot of business. A little background: my husband and I are both former counterintelligence agents with the US government. And we left government to run our own business about right before we met up with CEO Space, actually. We went looking for the typical kind of BNI groups and this and that to find other like-minded people, JV partnerships, mentors, folks who could help us grow the business concepts that we had. And we were really, really disappointed. Every single, let's have coffee, or let's go, let me tell you about my MLM, which I'm not opposed to MLMs at all. In fact, I think they're brilliant, brilliant structure for people if they resonate. But it wasn't what we were looking for. We knew we wanted to build something that wasn't within somebody else's structure. We wanted to create it. And so we were having a really hard time finding people who were doing business at the level that we were interested in, who were willing to work with us, and kind of help us along the way and teach us and that type of stuff. So of course, as the universe operates, when we asked it, we received, and we ran into some folks from CEO Space who invited us to a meeting. And that's kind of similar to probably how you showed up here. You heard something and you got intrigued and you wanted to know more. And almost immediately it was obvious that this was really different. And I love what September shared about all of the benefits and everything else, but they really do pale in comparison to the experience of it. It's such a miraculous thing to witness, not only the acculturation of cooperation, collaboration, the encouragement of it, the promotion of the reciprocity kind of sequence of events, like really be of service, to somebody somewhere, be of service, right? That's why most of us get into business. But the other piece too is that we travel a lot, we speak at a lot of conferences and events, and I can honestly say that CEO Space is the one place that has actually structurally enculturated a networking process. So you're guaranteed to make connections. That cannot be said of every environment. In fact, from their model, from how they do business, from all their processes and stuff, it is absolutely systemically part of their business that you're going to network, and you're going to network in a way that really feels good and feels accomplished for you, right? Like you actually got somewhere with it. You're not just spinning your wheels. And that's magic. That's like pure gold for a business, right? So that's a big, big, big component. The second component that I think was so crucial for us was this kind of lifetime membership thing, right? Like we all hit up against growth points in our businesses. We're like, oh, forget this. Like this is tough. I'm not interested. But when you're part of a community that's saying, no, you can do this, and other people have met up with that, and we can help you, you're less apt to give up. You're less apt to stay stuck, and that's really what we need. And so the network encouraged us to grow much faster than we would have otherwise. To give you an example, since that 312 spot, not only is our counterintelligence firm the one that vets the individuals, the faculty, the subject matter experts that you see, but we created 2 6-figure businesses from scratch because of our involvement with CEO Space. And for the reasons I just got done mentioning, but also that expo, the network, all this stuff, it's a phenomenal little like beta petri dish incubator kind of environment where as a business, you can test some concepts, you can get feedback on them in this safe, supportive world that you're not getting from the outside market at large, right? So it's this little microcosm of an experience that you get to play in as a business owner and then take those concepts and expand them out into the larger marketplace. I've never seen anything like this. I contend, and we're very vocal about the fact that CEO Space is an organization that I guarantee you there's not a single business issue you could butt up against that they can't resolve for you. It may not be the person sitting next to you, but it may be 1 or 2 links away. It may be in the membership base, or it may be a connection through the membership base. Guaranteed you're going to get a solution through this group. And I can't say that about any other organization that we're a part of. So that just kind of gives you an idea. The other component that I think is super important to share is we had a 2-year-old daughter at this conference. That was 312. And prior to agreeing to go, that was a big issue for us, because when we left government, we committed to doing business in a way that could include her, right? We were spies, we had fun, great careers and all this other stuff. we weren't leaving that job to go and create a business where we were also, again, separate from our daughter, right? We wanted an inclusive lifestyle. This allowed us to do that because when we talked to our club presidents at that time and said, what do we do with our daughter? It's like, is she, do we just kind of leave her at home? Does one of us have to stay home? They're like, no, you bring her. And I'm like, huh? Like what? Like you want, like, okay, so Vegas, that was where the event was at the time. Like, hundreds of our new closest friends, at a resort that we didn't know much about. And you want us to bring our 2-year-old to a business conference, right? It just made it there. I had no box to put that in. And so we really had to work through, like, is this possible, right? For an environment to not just tolerate bringing teens and kids to it, but also really welcome that and have some infrastructure that supports that and a community that will support that. And sure enough, they were good to their word. Neva's 9 now, and she has run her podcast for over 2 years, and her book comes out this year. And she did a keynote, 2 years ago in front of 2,000 plus people. Like, I'm thinking that there's really no better illumination of the power of CEO space than the fact that this was possible because of the support we got from the community. So there's all kinds of reasons why you can see that we're incredibly passionate about really giving voice to what our experience has been within this. And the magic of it, in my opinion, is that they don't just say that they're operating in collaboration and cooperation. They've inculcated that, enculturated that, and really reinforced that. So for us, the experience was really cool. Like, there was an environment where we could come and just give. As faculty, we just brain type. Like, we give because we've seen what happens when you give freely and how that returns to you tenfold without question every single time. And when we were able to switch that from like, wait, what are we going to get out of this? Does this really serve me? Is it the right time? To wait, maybe there's someone we can help. Maybe there's someone we can contribute to. Maybe somebody wants what we have, but we're not going to know that if we try to like slam them with it and say, hey, buy our stuff, or what are you going to do for me, right? When we opened up and softened into that space a little bit, I mean, it really nothing short of miraculous. I have no logical explanation for what we've been able to create other than to point it back to something like, I can't even pinpoint a single element. I think it's just encapsulated with CEO space. Like, there was no single element of the organization that really allowed us to do this. It is a thoughtful, it is a longitudinal plan. It is a marathon. It's a relationship. It's a family. And they've been around for decades. So these are tried and tested and proven systems that you can relax into to get the support that you need for a business. I honestly don't know how people are doing business without something like CEO space. And I'll be honest with you, there's nothing like CEO space. So this is it, folks. If you're questioning it, if you're wondering, if anything else, really ask yourself, like, what is it that I want to create, and how do I want to create it, and who do I want to be surrounded by in that process, right? Because we all didn't get into business to have our lives dictated to us, right? We want to create the world that we want to live in. You have to have support for that. You have to see what's possible. You have to have solutions. You have to have people who are willing to help. And CEO Space brings all of that together for you in one place. So those are the all of the reasons I can think of to truly sit here in front of you and say, like, unabashedly, unequivocally, we're in full support of CEO Space and can attest to all the reasons why. And we have a really unique glimpse of it because, we're their risk mitigation advisors, we're their due diligence firm, we're the counterintelligence firm that supports their decision making. So we get to see everything behind the scenes. And they are very transparent, and they are very willing to be held accountable to protecting and supporting their member base, or we wouldn't be involved with them. One of our businesses is entirely positioned on our reputation and trust. And so we're very cautious about who we align ourselves with. Our other business, Superpower Experts, is designed, it's an international personal development platform that really works with people to be able to stand in that space, be that leader, be that business owner. But again, that idea came completely out of CEO Space, right? We were able to get in touch with what the needs are and what unique solutions we have to bring to that need. But we got to test it in there and play with it in there and get encouraged by the members and the faculty and everything else to make that happen. So that's our story. I'm happy to answer any questions, but absolutely honored to share that with you.
Thank you, Tonya. As you were talking, we had a couple of questions come in.
Beautiful.
So I'm so busy in my business. I don't know if I can take a week off. Do you think that CEO Space is still a good option for me?
So yes, that's the answer there. And I'll tell you why though, because I think that that's actually what you're asking for is the, so the idea of being too busy, right? A lot of that comes from obviously we probably we're handling too much on our own plate. We don't know how to scale it. We don't know how to systemize it. We don't know how to offload it. We don't really even know what's possible in that space, right? Or our lives are really just too busy. So there's a couple ways you can go about this. Absolutely, you owe it to yourself to chunk out a decent amount of time to do that full week. One, because it's kind of the gateway, right? So you can be involved in CEO Space in a number of ways, and I highly encourage that you get involved in however you can, and make sure that you make it at some point to that week-long event, because that kind of breaks open what's possible. But regardless, that you can join up with a members only group online, because this isn't a culturation process. This is going to hyper grow you, right? Because your business can't hyper grow unless you're willing to grow. So anything you can do to just get in touch. And what you'll notice is CEO Space people are different. Like we're just different. Like we need a secret handshake or something, because but you know us when you see us, because the questions are, how can we contribute to you? How can we help? What do you need next? Who can I connect you to, right? That's front and center in those dialogues. And so, but that's not normal, right? We don't see that in the world at large. And so the more you engage, the more you immerse yourself, the quicker you're going to pick this stuff up, and the faster it's going to benefit your business. And so do whatever you can to consume this culture right here and now. So if you can't go and literally can't take the time, join anyway, get into the group, start talking to people, start connecting in. I mean, I know people who've been working the network and still haven't been to an event, right? It's not an event. The value is in the membership, right? The connections that get made. And there's just this really amazing reciprocity kind of love support system that happens. I mean, we talk about that. Love should be talked about in business, right? Like, who are we helping? Why are we helping them? Most of us are passionate about that. So we bring that front and center and say, yeah, that's a compelling reason to do business, and we're going to help you grow that and expand that. So absolutely get involved, because the value is in the relationships that you build, and that takes some time, right? One of the classes that we teach is that transparency expedites trust. Trust builds relationships, right? You have to go through those steps, but you can certainly expedite them and speed them up by play full out. Be like, hey, I'm here, I'm new, I don't know really what this is all about, but I want to learn and I want to connect with people. And you're going to be taken by the hand and guided and shown, and start that process now. And then when you can get to an event or one of the conferences, you're positioned really well for it. You understand the culture, or maybe your situation's like, forget that. Like, I want to go to the conference now, right? You've got that. You'll learn that there too. There's many pathways available to you. They all lead to the same place, that this is the relationship, business, family that you've been looking for.
I like to plus what you were saying about that is the other thing to look at when coming to CEO Space, and I'd like to get your take on it, is that this is not working in your business. You're there during the week to work on your business, to improve your processes, to improve your systems, to take your business to the next level, to fill in the gaps. Can you speak to that?
I can, and I will tell you that we've had moments of that for sure, where we were there almost exclusive. Like, we even set our minds like, okay, we need someone in this arena, this arena, this arena. These are the people we're going to connect with. These are the conversations we need to be having. And I'll tell you, those were the times when we actually got more business. So it's not a what is the result, it's a where's your mindset at, right? So if you're working on your business and working on creating relationships and working on supporting other people, right? Being of service to them as well, guaranteed you'll do more business than if you went to work. What did you call at your business, on your business?
On your business or in your business? The in the business is the day to day where you get sucked into your admin tasks.
Well, but to me, I actually define that a little bit differently in the sense of, am I like in a marketing, sales, get business kind of mentality, or am I in a, we're working on the infrastructure, the expansion, the scalability? And for me, like I said, when we got really clear about some of this stuff, they all happen together. Even the admin stuff, right? Because again, part of the challenge is if you're that busy in your business that you can't take a week to go to a conference to work on the business, then you probably need some assistance with scaling and delegating and some other things, because otherwise you can't grow your business. So on a lot of levels, it's like, what's going to come first? Like, you can't sit there wondering why you're scrambling and not being able to scale the business if that's all you're doing is scrambling. Like, you have to be able to take a step back, look at the perspective. That's another thing that CEO Space is extremely valuable for, is you get different perspectives and you get to weigh those against, okay, what is it that you're going for in your business? And maybe your thinking was off in that. So to me, all of those conversations end up coming back around together at the same time. But I think what you're speaking to is, a lot of times when we're like hyper focused and we're in the day activities, we're actually operating in kind of a scarcity energy. And as a leader in the business, you can't expand and scale a business from that space. So you owe it to yourself to take a step back, to surround yourself with other business leaders, to kind of feel, okay, what does this look like to be able to go, of course I take a week off. And it's not taking a week off. It's just shifting the conversation, and all of those conversations have to happen within the business all the time.
Yeah, investing your time differently.
Absolutely.
The last question we have here is related to the lifetime membership. Can you talk about the lifetime membership and why that particular model? Why not just a one-off event?
Right. Because it doesn't work. Like, I mean, we've all been to one-off events. You may get a little nugget, right, that you have to go and implement, but almost inevitably, like, you're going to hit another wall. You're going to hit something in the implementation process, or you're going to forget about it, like in the day-to-day, like, okay, great. Like, maybe 3 years from now, we'll kind of address that piece. So there's my bias is that other model is a little bit broken, unless it's like a specific workshop for a specific issue that you're having in your business, or a specific goal that you're wanting to reach. And it's like very niche, like, okay, this is a content marketing segment, right? And you go to this workshop and you get the exact nugget that you needed. But that usually isn't the case. It's usually like, oh, come and we'll help you grow your business. But at a one-time event, like, I'm not, that like doesn't compute in my mind. So for me, the lifetime membership and how we interpret that, and why we continue to give so much of ourselves into that membership, is because of the returns on it, right? Because a lot of times in your business, you think you know where you're going and you think you know what you need, but it's going to change. Like, the second you start walking towards something, you're left, right? Now you find yourself here and you're like, okay, well, what is this space, right? And so you have all of this available to you. It goes back to what I was saying earlier, that I contend that there's not a single business issue that this network can't resolve. Well, without a lifetime membership, you're left either continually doing like the one-off routine and not really building relationships, or you're left trying to build all those relationships on your own. CEO Space speeds that up. Not only is it highly suggested that you create relationships and network, it's acculturated. Like, you're going to, even if you try really, really, really hard not to make any relationships while you're at the conference or while you're in the group, you're not going to be able to. You're going to make a relationship, because that's what the community is designed to do. And so, and you just don't get that anywhere else.
And Tonya, there was a follow-up question to that from the same person. How many times have you attended?
Oh my goodness, that's a fantastic question, because and I'm going to expand it out just a little bit, because it's not only about how many times we attended the conference. When we came, like when we went to 312, we had gone to our club president at the time had meetings. And so we'd gone to the meeting, and then we went to 312, and then we continued to attend those local meetings every week for a year. We went to every conference that year. I think every conference I think for about the first 3 years, we went 5 times a year. And then, businesses got successful, which is kind of what it was designed to do. So we had to, unfortunately, we had to kind of narrow it down, but our goals, we try to attend at least 3 a year. because we know what happens if we don't, right? Because it does slow down our business. There's this really cool, like I said, this relationship component, but also kind of an accountability thing. It's like, you kind of want everyone to be proud of you and to see what you're doing. And it's just this really yummy space where it's good to come back and say, hey, we're working on this aspect. Oh, because you're always ready to receive new information, right? So for us, if we couldn't go 5 times a year, at the bare minimum since 312 that we've gone yearly was 3. And we don't let up from that. A lot of it for us is Neva, because we've seen how it's grown her, but our businesses are like, it's insane, like what we've been able to do.
Excellent. Tonya, it's been such a pleasure having you on here. I just love hearing your story. Maybe I'm a little partial to it because it feels like a good, strong pat on the back of the teamwork.
You deserve it.
Yeah, we've got a great team behind us. And everybody that's on it is super passionate about bringing this cooperative model to the world, showing people that business can be done in a better, happier, yummier way than this competitive, I'm going to ensure that you lose so that I can win. Nobody likes to be in that. That's gross.
They don't. I want to actually do one more little plus for you all, in the sense that we built both of our businesses on collaborative models, right? And that's like, what does that mean, right? And it was challenging on some level because those models, like, they just don't exist, right? People are playing at it. We're trying. Most of us want something better, something that feels better for us to partake in. But we've been able to do that with both of our businesses. At the very minimum, that kind of being of service in the world, contributing, operating in transparency, holding ourselves accountable, taking some ownership for what we're putting out into the world. That's at the base of both of our businesses. It's at the base of our relationship. My husband and I are business partners. That's at the base of that, and it's at the base of our parenting. So it's not just CEO Spaces doing that. They're showing you how you can do that too, which I think is huge, huge, huge. And again, I'm not seeing that anywhere else.
Tonya, where can people find more information out about you and what you're doing?
Oh, absolutely. So they can go to superpowerexperts.com. That's a great place. We have 8 different podcast shows. If you're into kind of some of the transformation space, we have a lot of fun information there. Also, this is the clearest link with CEO Spaces, clearbusinessdirectory.com. Go in there and go to Who's in the Clear, and you get to see some of those transparency reports about the faculty and the subject matter experts, and that's coming off of our counterintelligence firm. Or social media. You can always find me under Tonya, Dawn, DAWN, Recla, just about anywhere on social media.
Excellent. Thank you again for your time, Tonya. I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Yep, for all you listeners, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time and being in here, hanging out with us till the end. Get back to the person that had shared this video with you or who had invited you to this call, and let them know either A, I'm ready to be a member, B, I need some more information, or C, I have all I need without CEO Space. And I'd like to invite you to really explore that, considering what Tonya had just said. Do you have a cooperative environment to play in? Yeah. So thank you again. I appreciate your time, and you have a fantastic day.